Good afternoon, good evening, everybody. It's Rod with Power Group. Welcome back on the Pursuit of Wealth. We're going to get started with today's live stream here momentarily. We'll give it another minute or so for people to join us. If you could smash the like before we get started, I would appreciate it. Help support me in the channel. And just sit tight. We'll get started here shortly. I see we have quite a few people joining us. Welcome to the live stream. Let us know where you're tuning in from. Always love hearing from you. Going to get started here in about half a minute. We'll give it another 30 seconds or so for people to jump on. All right, let's get the show kicked off. Welcome everybody to the live stream. It's Rod with Power Group. Welcome back on the Pursuit of Wealth, your home for MJ stocks, crypto assets, and interviews. Today is May 23rd. It's Tuesday. Hope you had a great long weekend. For those of you here in Canada, we had Victoria Day. So we did have a statutory holiday yesterday, but markets were open yesterday in the US, just not in Canada. But we'll take a look at the chart here. We'll take a look at the HEXO chart and do some technical analysis. We'll do a quick update on the merger and what to expect in the next couple of weeks. We also have HEXO earnings due in a couple of weeks as well, so we'll take a look at that. Before we get to it though, make sure to smash the like, help support me in the channel. It doesn't cost you anything. If you're new, you can subscribe. Tick the bell, you'll be notified on any future videos or when I go live. So we have quite a few people joining us, so welcome to the live stream. And as I mentioned, going to break down the merger update. We'll look at the financials that are due here in a couple of weeks, and then we'll look at the chart here. And then we'll also do a quick update on the arbitrage breakdown and opportunity. The window is closing. The closer that we get to that merger date, the arbitrage will continue to diminish, right? That opportunity, right? So the discount that you can get between now and waiting until conversion. So we'll look at that, the benefits of waiting until conversion or selling some of our HEXO now for Tilray and potentially ending up with more shares. So like I said, we'll take a look at that here in just a moment. But I have posted quite a few videos in the past, and like I said, going to be covering Tilray a lot more as well, obviously, because once the deal does go through, if it does go through, it's not 100% guaranteed yet, but once it does go through, then obviously I'll be I cover Tilray Brands a lot, but obviously I'll be covering them a lot more because of the fact that it'll be, them and HEXO, but not just those two, Afria and Redican as well. So it's going to be truly a huge powerhouse here in the industry. So just a quick update here. So from the Business Wire article here, HEXO Corp announced its acquisition by Tilray Brands. They said that the company expects to hold a special meeting of shareholders for them to consider and vote on the arrangement before June 22nd, 2023. And then we got an update here. This is from May 10th. So HEXO Corp announces receipt of interim order of respective arrangement with Tilray Brands. And that's going to be held on, the special meeting is scheduled to be held on June 14th, 2023 at 10 a.m. And the record date of determining shareholders entitled to receive notice of and vote at the special meeting has been fixed at the close of business on May 5th, 2023. So the company expects that management information circular and related materials in respect to the special meeting will be mailed to shareholders and will be filed and available under HEXO's profile on SEDAR and EDGAR in the coming days. The management information circular and related materials will provide details of the special meeting on how shareholders or their duly appointed proxy holders can attend, access to, and participation in the special meeting. The completion of the arrangement is subject to certain conditions, including the receipt of the requisite approval for the shareholders and the final order from the Ontario Superior Court of Justice, and an application which is scheduled for June 19, 2023, and other closing conditions customary in transactions of this nature. If all necessary approvals are obtained and the conditions of the completion of the arrangement are satisfied or waived, it is currently anticipated that the arrangement will be completed before the end of June 2023. So we are coming on that date, right? It's just about a little over a month away. So again, we're not 100% sure that the deal is going to go through, but like I said, I'm 99 99.9% sure that it will. The writing's been on the wall. We haven't seen any corporate presentation update from HEXO in a long time. They stopped doing conference calls, and then they did one, and then I did an interview with Charlie and Julius, and it was, the writing was on the wall, right? And we knew that they were forming this strategic alliance. And something that I want to mention as well is that a lot of people are thinking that Tilray could slide in price after the merger because of the fact that usually when the two companies merge, we usually have that transition period, and that period where you merge the two companies together. So there's a bunch of moving parts and whatnot. One thing I'll just kind of bring to light here is that it's a little bit different in this scenario, because it's not like the Aphria Tilray deal. It's not really like the Redecan HEXO deal, because that news came just out of nowhere, right? Whereas the difference here is HEXO and Tilray have been partners now for about a year through that strategic alliance, and HEXO's actually making products for Tilray like the Soleil Slims and the Rip and Darts, a few other things as well. So we already have those synergies kind of working together. So that I'll just caution everybody and just kind of remind everybody that this isn't your typical merger that we've seen in the MJ space before. So because of that, I think that things could play out a little bit differently than they have in the past. But obviously, we'll take things day by day, and I'll continue to be updating and making videos on this as it progresses. But as you can see, Q3 financials are due by June 14th for HEXO, and that's for period ending April 30th. And one thing I noticed as well is Investingcom stopped their predictions. So it's almost as if they're even, this is a shoe-in essentially. They're not even putting out forecasts anymore for revenue or EPS, which they normally do. HEXO's obviously a very, covered name, and very, the analysts are just all the time all over it because of the fact that it has such, it does garner a lot of retail attention, right? That's kind of what I'm getting at. But the fact that it isn't even listed here kind of leads me to believe that this is just a matter of time, and pretty much a guarantee that it's going to go through. But again, can never be confident until we get 100% confirmation that the deal went through and all approvals from the special shareholder meeting and whatnot. But I'm going to be voting in favor of. Personally, I've sold about 50% of my HEXO holdings and then bought Tilray with it. I got over a 20% discount, meaning I got 20% more shares selling early than waiting till conversion. And we'll look at that here in just a moment. We'll do a quick update on that. But before I forget, the estimate here for TradingView on HEXO Corp on the TSX, this is in Canadian dollars as they report in Canadian dollars. The estimate for revenue is 25.232 million, and the EPS estimate is negative 0.097. And again, that's in Canadian dollars. And then we'll bring up the chart here in just a moment. I did want to bring up this update here. This is the arbitrage discount formula. And I just want to double check here. 126 is what I have it at. Yep, 126. And then what do I have? 244 for Tilray. So 245. So it did change by a penny, but for the sake of this video, I won't bother going in. I won't update that just in an effort of time. It's pretty much the same anyway. But 244 here is share price 1, which is Tilray. And then you have share price 2, which is HEXO, $1.26. And then the ratio of 0.4352. To get the ticker 2 converted share price, you divide $1.26 divided by the ratio, which is $2.89.5. And then in order to get the discount, you take share price 1, which is 244, minus ticker 2 converted, which is 2.89522, and then divide it by ticker 2 converted, which is 2.89522. And then you get a discount of 15.7%. So right now, if you were to sell Tilray and buy HEXO, essentially you would get 15.7% more shares if you sold HEXO now and bought Tilray versus waiting until conversion. Okay, so that's why I sold about 50% of my HEXO shares. I'm going to be holding the rest unless the discount continues to go up. But again, as we get closer to that date, the discount is going to become less and less, more than likely, right? Because of the fact that the closer we get to the date, the more likelihood that it's going to pass, right? So if anybody does have any questions with regards to this, or with regards to your own situation, again, I can't tell you what to do legally. I'm not able to give financial advice. This is for entertainment purposes only. And you're gonna have to, I can't tell you to buy, sell, or hold. You have to make up your own decisions. So I could tell you what I would do in your situation, but what I have done is I've sold 50% of my HEXO shares that I was holding, and I'm still holding the other 50%. But the 50% that I did sell, I bought Tilray, and I got about a discount of about 22%, meaning versus selling then, I'm going to get 22% more Tilray shares for my HEXO shares than waiting until conversion, right, when it automatically converts. But again, the risk back then when I sold, a few weeks ago, was that we didn't know for sure if this was going to go through, if it was going to get special shareholder meeting approval or the court approval, right? So as we get closer to it, it's looking more and more like that's going to happen. So I would anticipate this to diminish down to 12%, 10%, maybe even 5% as we get closer, right? Same thing that happened with Tilray and Aphria. Same thing happened with Zenabis and HEXO whenever those merged, and Canopy and Supreme, right? All these different scenarios that we have to go off of. So hopefully that makes sense. If it doesn't, or anybody needs any clarity on that, please just let me know. And if you're on the live stream, you can type it in the live chat. I'll get to it here in a moment. And then if you're viewing this video after the fact, then just let me know in the comments, and I'll do my best to get to that ASAP. But like I said, I got about a 22% discount, I think was the highest that I got for my HEXO shares. But again, as we get closer to the date, we're going to see that diminish, right? That arbitrage and that discount diminish significantly. But like I said, the fact that Investingcom isn't even updating their projections anymore just adds more confluence to the fact that this is more than likely going to be the case where we see this deal go through. But we'll see what comes of it in the shareholder meeting. But like I said, earnings tentative for June 14th. They're due by June 14th, which is a Wednesday. So that is in 3 weeks from tomorrow. And then that will be the special meeting as well. So like I said, maybe next week that discount goes from, 15% down to 12%. And then another week it goes to like 9%. And then, a few days before, maybe it's 5% or 2%, right? The closer we get, the more it will decline, right? But taking a look at HEXO here at the moment, we are set up for a potential monthly higher low to form. So we're looking for this higher low to be set here at 109. It's a monthly inside bar at the moment. So if we can break to a higher high, the level to break is 192. If we can break 192, that would give us a higher low and a higher high, and we would be back in a monthly uptrend. If we take a look at Tilray not even close to starting a monthly uptrend, because we still need to form the high. We're breaking the high of last month, meaning we're starting the monthly bounce, but then we need to top out, form that higher low and a higher high to give us a monthly uptrend. So we're multiple months away before we see, a remotely close to an uptrend confirming here on the monthly time frame on Tilray. But if we just take a look at HEXO here on the daily time frame, we are set up for a potential golden cross here over the next few weeks and several months. And then on Tilray, very, very close to seeing a golden cross here as well, with the 50-day below the 200-day moving average. And like I said, the last time that happened, when Tilray saw its golden cross, the price was at around $7 and went all the way up to $67, just on the hopes that the U.S. was going to legalize, right, when the Dems took control of the Senate. But imagine what would happen next time we see a golden cross after, basically setting a new all-time low, 52-week low, all-time low, and being beaten down for this long, right? Really, since February 2021 highs, we've been in a bear market. So, yeah, I think that the next time we see a big move, it's going to be a doozy. But yeah, HEXO here on the weekly time frame, we are losing the 10-week moving average, which is a little bit concerning, and we're starting to see the stochastic and the MACD flip to the bear side, which is a bit of a cause of concern. But I want to see a weekly candle close over $1.30 USD here this week for HEXO to remain optimistic. But on the weekly time frame, nothing nearby until the 50 weekly there at 207. And then Tilray, how is it doing on the weekly time frame? So we're back below the 10-week moving average as well, but holding up a little bit better. Still bullish on the MACD and the stochastic, but starting to curl here. So just getting a little bit, like I said, just raising a little bit of a warning sign here. And then in terms of the weekly moving averages, we have nothing nearby until 315 on Tilray. So we do have some runway here if we can get some momentum. And, HHS could come out with a decision anytime with regards to, rescheduling or descheduling. And then it would have to go to the DOJ, and then we'll see if, medical gets legalized or any kind of rescheduling maybe gets placed on the same level as alcohol. That would be huge, right? And then, we've got a ton of catalysts that is just, coming, safe banking potentially. We'll see if that can get enough votes in the Senate to pass and then go on to potentially become law. But I do think that safe banking probably is the best chance of passing now than ever before. And that might be the first piece of like movement in terms of reform that we would see, right? In my opinion, I think we're going to get uplisting. We're going to get, U.S. major exchanges like the NYSE and the NASDAQ. These names in the U.S. will uplist, and then that will update or unlock the floodgates, right, for Wall Street banks and, or Wall Street firms, right, like the J.P. Morgans, the Morgan Stanleys, the Goldman Sachs, you name it. Because as we know, nothing happens in the world without those companies. So I think that's the most likely scenario. Then we get potential rescheduling or descheduling and legalization of medical, then potential full-blown legalization at the national level. But that's going to be at the federal level. That's going to be a long time coming, in my opinion, at least a couple of years. But it is looking like things are starting to, like I said, look optimistically, go the other way here. And like I said, if we can just get some form of reform, some safe banking, some catalyst that can knock us out of what we're in. And this is just, there's nothing really that's going to move it unless it's something sector-wide like that, right? All US MJ, all Canadian MJ, all retailers, all ETFs are all, 52-week lows or all-time lows. So, we can't just have, some minor piece of news. It's going to take something drastic, right? So, all right, taking a look at the chat here. Again, if anybody does have any questions, please let me know. I'm going to start wrapping it up. But if anybody does have any questions with regards to the merger update or the arbitrage opportunity that I brought up here and the discount that we currently have versus selling now versus waiting until conversion, please let me know again in the live chat. And if you're viewing this video later on after the fact, you can let me know in the comments and I'll do my best to get to that as soon as possible. Tuning in from California. Yeah, see you on here a lot, Chris. So thanks for joining the live stream. Hopefully the weather's nice in California. The weather's beautiful here today in Edmonton, Alberta. We obviously had wildfires. Like it's been insane. It's been all over the news. I'm sure everybody is already aware of that. But yeah, making its way down to Calgary and then even into the States. Today it's really clear though. It's the first time I've been able to see like a mile out in the skyline in a couple of weeks. So hopefully this is the worst behind us. Hello, Rod. I want to join the POW community. I have a question. Do you provide lessons on the technicals? Yeah, absolutely. So, Jartender, you can go to powgroup.ca or pursuitofwealthgroup.com. Either one will take you there. And then, yeah, we do have memberships. So there's a monthly, an annual option, and then a VIP one. You can check out those different types of services for memberships, and then they just include different things, right? And then a little bit of a discount there on the annual. And then I also have the POW Algo Alert service as well, which we do basically 50 top stocks that give you early buy and sell signals. Again, it's not financial advice. You're still responsible for all those trades, but it's just trade ideas. And then we have the bi-weekly trade newsletter as well. We have coaching, and that's part of the VIP there as well. But you essentially just go there. You can click on the annual or the monthly or the VIP, and then you can sign up for one of those services and then subscriptions rather, and then that'll get you access to the Slack community here where we have all these different channels. So there's market, MJ market, commodities, crypto, electric vehicle stocks, right? And then we have all these different news channels as well where there's a bot that automatically fetches. So I give it a bunch of different publishers. So let's say there's 10 different news media, outlets or media companies. I basically give it 10 different media companies and publishers, and then it goes out and it fetches that automatically, and it pulls in this data automatically. So we got that for MJ, commodities, crypto, Forex. And so basically it's a one-stop shop. You don't have to go to all these different websites and check news. Everything's filtered in there and specifically in different channels. And then we have different channels. And then, yeah, I teach people the technicals and things like that in there, and you can ask any questions. Also, like I said, we have coaching, so I can do a one-on-one session as well if you're so inclined to do that. But then there's also the Academy here. If you click on Academy and go here and hit Visit Academy, there's a free getting started training, and I do some technical training in this as well. I'm working on another course, but essentially there's 30 lessons in here. So you can see here, Chapter 1, Starting Your Pursuit of Wealth. There's Investor versus Trader, kind of getting the psychology and your mindset figured out, and then brokerages, accounts, paper trading, so stocks versus crypto, registered accounts versus margin accounts, do's and don'ts of day trading, picking and setting up a brokerage, different types of options and orders. And then I go into some of the technical, and then I do a quiz there, and it's pretty interactive and intuitive. So yeah, that's basically the best way you can do that. And then, like I said, yeah, check that out. And if you want to join one of the subscriptions, you can do the annual or the VIP or the monthly. Can you analyze CGC? I can take a quick look at it. Yep. Real quick. So it is dropping to a monthly lower low. We are getting close to that $1 psychological. We still haven't dipped below it. But obviously, if we do, we're at risk of starting the timer and getting delisted potentially from the NASDAQ, which obviously they would more than likely just do a reverse split and join the rest of the sector, right? It's been nothing new in the sector, and quite frankly, we can pretty much expect more of the same. But dropping to a monthly lower low, in terms of the weekly time frame, it is a weekly bear flag. So if we take a look at the measured move here, anything under $1.86 is a weekly bear flag. So we got some work to do here. But it's been a weak bounce so far. And then if we take a look at the measured move, it's saying we could drop as low as about 59 cents. So in order to confirm this weekly bear flag, we need to lose support there at 102. So that'll be the key support going forward. And $1 psychological, if we lose $1, we'll more than likely start to see sell pressure pick up pretty heavily. And rather quickly as well. But yeah, well below the 10-week moving average. Let's see how close we are to a golden cross on CGC. Yeah, we're nowhere close. So it's definitely weaker. We really appreciate it. You're very welcome, Chris. Appreciate you joining the stream. Hopefully that helps Calvin. And yeah, thanks for all the info, you bet. What's up, Rod? What's up? Thanks, Rod, Steve says. You're appreciated. Thank you, Rod. No problem at all. This too shall pass. Appreciate you joining the stream. Goes both ways. Will you do YouTubes for EVs? Yeah, I've done a couple on electric vehicles, actually. If you recall my video actually on Tesla, this one, I got a lot of hate for this one. What was it here? Yeah, so this was 5 months ago. I said Elon Musk no longer the richest person in the world, and there was a head and shoulder technical pattern, and then it was targeting about $85, and everybody said that I was crazy. There's no way Tesla was going to. I said 100, and then 85 was the potential target on that drop down on that reversal. And if we just take a look, we had that head and shoulders. We had the RSI bearish, hidden RSI bearish divergence, right, with lower highs, lower lows on the RSI, higher lows, higher highs on the price. And then we had a head and shoulders. And if you take the measured move of the head and shoulders from the top of the head to the neckline and move it out to the bottom of the neckline, it was saying about $85. And then we also had the 0.786 there at $98.99. And then the $100 psychological level being a very strong psychological support. And then we confirmed the monthly downtrend as well. So there was so much confluence pointing to the fact that we would be going to around 100 or 85. And like I said on that video, that was 5 months ago, right? What was the exact day? Let's just see here. What if you... the exact day was December 12th. So if we go to the daily time frame, go back to December 12th, that was right here. So on December 12th, the price closed at 167. So from 167, the close, and I was targeting about 100 to $85. Then it dropped like 37% in the next 26 days. So from 26 days from the time I made this video, the price dropped almost another 40%. And then, like I said, everybody was commenting, oh, this guy's crazy, out to lunch, there's no way Tesla's going to 100. And then look, we hit 101.81, right? So again, technical analysis isn't end all be all. It's just, wouldn't you rather know if there's 5 different things saying that, oh, this is saying we could go to here, or we could go to here, or this is, you know, this, and this are all saying $100 is in the cards, right? And all it is odds and probabilities. Well, wouldn't you much rather want to know versus not knowing, right? And then be prepared for all scenarios, which is up, down, and sideways. And in this case, we were going down, right? And not, you know, after we had a massive move up, right? So what usually happens after a massive move up? Usually a massive move down, right? It's not rocket science. So yeah, you don't need a PhD in economics or in, you know, you don't need to be a wizard to figure this stuff out. It just takes time, right? Just like anything. And like I said, it's all about having an edge on the market. All it is probabilities, looking at something playing out. This has a 50 or 60% chance of playing out or not playing out, right? So what did I miss? Yeah, wrapping up the stream here now. So gonna end it. And then if you go back and rewatch, like I said, you'll be able to ask any questions too. Just drop it in the comments. Obviously gonna wrap it up here now. So we'll end the live stream. So if anybody is viewing this after the fact or tuning in late, encourage you to rewatch it. And then if you have any questions with regards to the merger update or the arbitrage breakdown that I went over, just let me know in the comments and I'll do my best to get back to you ASAP. Thank you. You're welcome. All right. Thanks everybody for joining us on the Pursuit of Wealth. Once again, it's Rod with Power Group. We shall see you on the next video. Have a great night. Talk to you soon.